The year 2025 promises to be a period of profound change, offering a mix of challenges and opportunities across all zodiac signs. This year stands out as a time when planetary forces align to inspire personal growth, discipline, and the pursuit of long-term goals. With significant planetary movements, including Jupiter's transition to Gemini, Saturn's shift into Pisces, and the nodal axis changing to the Aquarius-Leo axis, the trainist sets the stage for a transformative year. Individuals will be called to evaluate their priorities, align their actions with their dreams, and navigate through life's complexities with resilience and mindfulness. The overarching theme of 2025 revolves around balancing material ambitions with spiritual growth, a challenge presented by the placement of Rahu and Ketu in Aquarius and Leo, respectively. Rahu's presence in Aquarius emphasizes exploration, innovation, and stepping out of comfort zones, while Ketu in Leo encourages introspection and letting go of ego-driven pursuits. As these energies unfold, they will push people to confront their deepest desires and align their actions with a higher purpose. Saturn begins its transit through Pisces in March 2025, marking the start of a phase that demands introspection and discipline. Pisces, a sign associated with dreams, intuition, and spirituality, provides a stark contrast to Saturn's practical and structured energy. This combination urges individuals to transform their ideals into reality through diligent effort and perseverance. During this transit, many will find themselves reevaluating their long-term goals and adopting a more disciplined approach to their daily lives. Saturn's presence in Pisces emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions, letting go of past regrets, and focusing on building a solid foundation for the future. While the process may feel slow and demanding, it promises lasting rewards for those willing to put in the work. Jupiter, the planet of growth and abundance, shifts into Gemini in May 2025, ushering in a period of intellectual curiosity and expanded opportunities for learning. This placement highlights the power of communication, adaptability, and networking. It's an ideal time for individuals to embrace new ideas, explore entrepreneurial ventures, and engage in activities that promote knowledge and understanding. The influence of Jupiter in Gemini also extends to travel and education, making it a favorable year for those seeking to broaden their horizons through study or exploration. This transit encourages open-mindedness and a willingness to see the world from different perspectives. However, Jupiter's placement in Mercury-ruled Gemini may also bring moments of overanalysis and indecision, requiring a balanced approach to decision-making. In May 2025, the lunar nodes shift into the Aquarius-Leo axis, introducing themes of collective progress and personal introspection. Rahu in Aquarius inspires innovation, collaboration, and a desire to connect with broader social causes. This placement emphasizes the importance of working toward goals that benefit not just individuals but also communities and humanity as a whole. On the other hand, Ketu in Leo brings a need to detach from ego-driven pursuits and focus on inner fulfillment. It encourages self-reflection and spiritual growth, urging individuals to evaluate their motivations and align their actions with their core values. Together, these energies create a dynamic push-pull effect, prompting people to balance their personal ambitions with a sense of collective responsibility. The planetary alignments of 2025 bring a mix of opportunities and challenges that demand focus, adaptability, and perseverance. On one hand, Jupiter's and Rahu's placements promote growth and expansion, offering chances for personal and professional success. On the other hand, Saturn's influence reminds us that true progress requires discipline, responsibility, and a willingness to confront obstacles head-on. The interplay between the lunar nodes and major planetary transits emphasizes the importance of balancing material ambitions with emotional and spiritual well-being. This year is an invitation to explore uncharted territories, whether through travel, education, or personal development, while staying grounded in one's core values. As we move through 2025, the key themes that emerge are growth, transformation, and balance. This is a year to embrace change, face challenges with courage, and work toward creating a life that aligns with one's dreams and aspirations. While the path may not always be easy, the rewards for perseverance and dedication will be significant. To accurately assess the impact of these transits, it's crucial to consider your ascendant and moon signs. The ascendant sign provides insights into the timing of life events, while the moon sign reveals how you'll emotionally respond to these changes. Additionally, consider the position of your current Maha-Dasha lord in your birth chart, as it can shed light on how these transits will influence the recurring themes of your current Dasha period. These specific outcomes will depend on individual Dasha periods and how these transits interact with your natal planetary placements. If you are currently in Jupiter's Maha-Dasha period, its transit influence will be particularly prominent. Remember, the effects of these transits vary for each person. Let's explore how they may affect you based on your zodiac sign and the houses they transit. For Aries, 2025 emerges as a year of profound growth, personal transformation, and professional development, marked by significant planetary transits shaping various aspects of your life. Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu play key roles in defining the energy of the year, bringing both opportunities and challenges. This year will require you to balance ambition with introspection, financial growth with mindful expenditure, and external success with internal peace. Jupiter transits in Taurus in the early part of the year, influencing your second house of finances and family. During this phase, your financial situation is likely to improve, with Jupiter blessing you with stability and growth and wealth. However, Saturn's aspect on Taurus from Pisces brings caution, especially regarding impulsive financial decisions. You might feel a strain in family relationships, possibly due to differences in values or communication gaps. It's crucial to maintain patience and address any misunderstandings with maturity. The first quarter of the year also keeps the 8th house of transformations active, continuing the energy from 2024. Unexpected gains, sudden inheritance, or profound realizations about your life path may surface during this time. As Jupiter transitions into Gemini in May, your 3rd house of communication, travel, and short-term goals becomes highly activated. This transit is incredibly favorable for Aries individuals seeking to enhance their networking skills, learn new subjects, or engage in short-term courses or certifications. Communication becomes your strongest tool. Whether it's interviews, public speaking, or written communication, you'll find yourself excelling. Jupiter's aspect on your 7th and 11th houses adds further promise, enhancing your social and professional network and improving your relationships. It's an excellent time to expand your circle, establish meaningful connections, and collaborate on projects that have long-term benefits. However, while Jupiter boosts your external growth, Saturn remains in your 12th house in Pisces throughout the year. This transit pushes you towards introspection, spiritual growth, and a reevaluation of your life priorities. The 12th house often signifies endings, isolation, and hidden fears, and Saturn's presence here can make you feel weighed down by responsibilities, both professional and personal. There may be disruptions in your sleep cycle, heightened anxiety, or a general feeling of restlessness. To counterbalance these effects, adopting a regular meditation practice, maintaining a healthy sleep routine, and spending time in peaceful environments will be essential. Saturn also emphasizes the importance of managing your resources wisely. While Jupiter encourages financial gains, Saturn cautions against reckless expenditure. Budgeting and long-term financial planning will serve you well this year. Rahu's transit into your 11th house in Aquarius from May onwards brings significant opportunities for financial and social growth. The 11th house governs gains, friendships, and social networks, and Rahu here amplifies these areas with a unique twist. You might find yourself attracting influential people into your life, gaining recognition in your social or professional circles, and exploring unconventional paths to success. However, Rahu is known for creating illusions, and you must remain cautious about people who may seem helpful on the surface but carry hidden motives. Trust your instincts and maintain clear boundaries in your interactions. Ketu, on the other hand, moves into your 5th house in Leo. This transit invites you to revisit your creative side, childhood hobbies, and passions that might have been neglected over the years. It's an excellent time for spiritual practices and activities that nurture your inner child. Ketu also brings a certain detachment to romantic relationships or matters related to children. If you're single, you might find yourself uninterested in shallow romantic encounters, instead seeking deeper, more meaningful connections. For students, Ketu in the 5th house can create some disruption in academic focus, but it also grants sharp intuition and a profound ability to dive deeply into subjects of interest. The combination of Jupiter and Rahu in air signs, Gemini and Aquarius, brings a dynamic energy to your professional and social life. These planets encourage you to think outside the box, take calculated risks, and embrace new ways of achieving your goals. However, with Saturn simultaneously in your 12th house, you'll need to balance outward ambition with inner reflection. Without this balance, you might experience burnout or frustration from unmet expectations. The second half of the year, particularly after May, feels lighter and more optimistic. As Jupiter aspects your 7th and 9th houses, relationships improve, and opportunities for travel, especially overseas, open up. If you're in a committed relationship, this period fosters growth and mutual understanding. For single Aries individuals, there's a possibility of meeting someone special, possibly from a foreign culture or during travel. However, Venus's long stay in your 12th house earlier in the year indicates some emotional distance in romantic matters. Whether it's physical distance or emotional barriers, relationships will require patience and effort to thrive. Professionally, the year offers immense potential, especially in fields related to communication, writing, teaching, or short-term projects. Rahu in the 11th house favors unconventional paths to success, so if you're involved in technology, digital platforms, or innovative industries, this is your time to shine. However, Saturn's presence in the 12th house reminds you to pace yourself, avoid overextending, and ensure your efforts are sustainable in the long run. Health-wise, Saturn in the 12th house may create stress-related issues, sleep disturbances, or a general sense of fatigue. Taking regular breaks, practicing mindfulness, and maintaining a balanced lifestyle will be essential to avoid burnout. Pay attention to any recurring health concerns and seek professional help if needed. Spiritually, this year holds tremendous potential for growth. Both Saturn and Ketu encourage introspection, detachment, and inner exploration. Practices such as yoga, meditation, and spiritual practices can provide solace and clarity amidst the external chaos. Overall, Aries, 2025 is a year of balancing opposites: growth and introspection, financial abundance and mindful spending, external ambition and inner peace. Jupiter and Rahu provide opportunities for significant expansion in your professional and social life, while Saturn and Ketu remind you to stay grounded, introspective, and patient. The key to navigating this year successfully lies in maintaining balance, trusting your instincts, and embracing change with courage and humility. By the end of 2025, you'll find yourself not just richer in material gains, but also wiser, more centered, and ready to step into the next chapter of your journey with confidence. Taurus natives are set for a transformative and highly impactful year in 2025. The planets align in ways that emphasize financial prosperity, career growth, and personal reinvention, but also bring challenges in emotional well-being and relationships. With Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu dynamically influencing key houses, you are entering a phase where both material and spiritual growth are highlighted. Jupiter begins the year in your first house, marking a continuation of optimism, self-discovery, and opportunities for personal growth. However, it's shifting to your second house in May will bring financial stability and prosperity into focus. The second house governs not only wealth and savings but also your values and family relationships. Jupiter's transit here encourages you to invest wisely, expand your financial horizons, and build a secure foundation for the future. You might see financial gains through ventures related to hospitality, education, or even family businesses. However, because Jupiter rules your 8th house as well, caution is advised in shared finances, joint investments, and handling inheritance matters. There could be some misunderstandings or complications in financial partnerships, so transparency and prudence will be your allies. Saturn, the lord of your 9th and 10th houses, continues its transit through your 11th house of gains and social networks. This is a powerful placement for long-term financial stability and fulfillment of cherished goals. The 11th house represents rewards, recognition, and connections that help you grow professionally and socially. Saturn's slow and steady influence means that success will not come overnight, but through persistence and careful planning, you'll see tangible rewards by the end of the year. This transit also emphasizes the importance of building meaningful relationships with mentors, colleagues, and influential figures in your field. You might find yourself letting go of outdated professional associations or friendships that no longer serve your higher purpose. This is a year to focus on quality over quantity in your relationships. Rahu's transit into your 10th house in Aquarius brings excitement and unpredictability to your career sector. The 10th house governs your professional life, authority, and public image. Rahu thrives here, pushing you to embrace unconventional paths, modern technologies, and innovative ideas. If you've been considering a leadership role, a shift in career direction, or venturing into a completely new industry, this is the time to take bold steps. Rahu's influence will encourage you to think outside the box and challenge societal norms. However, this energy must be channeled carefully, as impulsive decisions or unethical shortcuts could backfire. A strategic, forward-thinking approach will ensure you make the most of this transformative period. At the same time, Ketu will be transiting your 4th house in Leo, creating a sense of detachment from your home, family life, or emotional roots. The 4th house represents domestic peace, comfort, and emotional well-being. With Ketu here, you might feel a subtle sense of dissatisfaction or distance from your loved ones. This could stem from increased professional commitments or emotional misalignments within your home environment. On a positive note, this transit also encourages inner reflection and spiritual growth. You might feel drawn to meditation, introspection, or alternative healing practices. However, be cautious not to withdraw entirely from family responsibilities or suppress your emotions, as this could lead to long-term strain in your personal relationships. Venus, your ascendant lord, plays a crucial role in your overall well-being and life direction. In 2025, Venus will experience key transits, including an exalted phase in your 11th house in the early months of the year. This period will bring financial windfalls, unexpected gains, and opportunities to fulfill a long-cherished desire. However, romantic relationships might face challenges, particularly when Venus enters difficult alignments with Mars or Saturn. Tensions with a romantic partner or elder siblings might surface, demanding patience and clear communication. Despite these temporary obstacles, Venus's supportive energy will ensure that you emerge stronger and more self-assured by the end of the year. Mars, starting the year retrograde in Cancer, impacts your third house of communication and courage. This could create misunderstandings, delays in travel plans, or disagreements with siblings or colleagues. As Mars re-enters Gemini, your focus will shift toward financial management and balancing income with expenditures. Avoid impulsive decisions related to money, especially in the first half of the year, as Mars's retrograde energy can cloud your judgment. The eclipses of 2025, occurring along the 4th and 10th house axis, highlight significant turning points in both your domestic and professional life. These astrological events will push you to reevaluate your priorities and make bold decisions regarding your career path and home environment. You might be compelled to leave behind familiar structures or embrace new responsibilities that initially feel daunting. Trust the process, as these changes are ultimately aligning you with your true purpose. Relationship dynamics will also require careful handling this year. With Mars and Venus experiencing challenging transits in key relational houses, tensions could arise in both romantic and marital partnerships. Communication will be crucial, and unresolved issues might resurface, demanding honest conversations and emotional vulnerability. On the positive side, Jupiter's presence in the second house will provide a stabilizing influence, fostering understanding and harmony within family relationships over time. Health-wise, Jupiter's supportive transit will ensure overall well-being, but emotional stress from Ketu in the 4th house might manifest physically if not addressed. Make self-care a priority, incorporate mindfulness practices into your daily routine, and don't hesitate to seek professional support if you're feeling overwhelmed. Spiritually, this year holds immense potential for growth and transformation. Ketu's placement in the 4th house and Jupiter's influence on your values and self-worth encourage you to deepen your spiritual practices and connect with your inner truth. You might find solace in meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in solitude. By the end of 2025, Taurus natives will emerge stronger, wiser, and more focused. The year will demand effort, resilience, and adaptability, but the rewards will be worth it. Financial growth, career advancements, and personal transformation are all within your reach. Remember to balance your professional ambitions with emotional well-being, and don't lose sight of your relationships in the pursuit of success. This year is not just about material gains, it's about creating a life that aligns with your deepest values and aspirations. For Gemini, the year 2025 promises to be transformative. With major planetary influences focused on your 1st, 9th, and 10th houses, you are entering a period of personal growth, career stability, and spiritual evolution. Jupiter's transition into your 1st house, Saturn's steady presence in your 10th house, Rahu's shift to your 9th house, and Ketu's placement in the 3rd house create a powerful alignment that encourages you to redefine your purpose and take control of your destiny. The year begins with Jupiter transiting your 12th house, indicating a time for introspection and soul-searching. You may feel drawn towards spirituality, seclusion, or exploring deeper layers of your subconscious. This period is ideal for clearing emotional baggage and preparing for Jupiter's shift into your 1st house in May 2025. Once Jupiter enters Gemini, it brings optimism, confidence, and clarity to your life. You'll notice an increase in self-assurance, and others will naturally gravitate towards your charismatic presence. This is the time to step out, take risks, and pursue your dreams boldly. Jupiter's placement in your 1st house also blesses your relationships, as it aspects your 7th house of partnerships. If you're single, this could be a year where you meet someone significant. For those already in relationships, your bond may deepen, and mutual respect will grow. Jupiter's benevolence brings opportunities for collaborations, both personally and professionally. However, with Jupiter's retrograde phase later in the year, ensure that your decisions are not overly optimistic or based on temporary excitement. Saturn in Pisces in your 10th house demands focus and discipline in your career. This transit signifies hard work, gradual growth, and the need for patience. While you might not see immediate results, Saturn is laying the groundwork for long-term stability and success. Your responsibilities may increase, and you'll be asked to step up as a leader or take charge of significant projects. If you've been considering a job change, entrepreneurship, or advancing in your current role, this is the year to plant those seeds. However, Saturn requires perseverance. Shortcuts or half-hearted efforts will not yield results. The influence of Venus in Pisces in your 10th house early in the year brings charm, creativity, and harmony to your professional sphere. You'll be able to build connections with influential people, and your talents will be recognized. Financial growth is also likely, particularly if you are in creative or artistic fields. Avoid making impulsive decisions, especially during Venus's retrograde phase in April 2025. Rahu in Aquarius in your 9th house encourages you to broaden your horizons. This is an excellent time for higher education, spiritual exploration, and long-distance travel. You might encounter mentors or teachers who challenge your beliefs or push you to see the world from a different perspective. However, Rahu's influence can sometimes attract false guides or misleading information. Be cautious about whom you trust for advice, especially in matters related to career or spirituality. The 9th house also governs your beliefs and faith. Rahu here may challenge your existing philosophies, urging you to ask deeper questions about life's purpose. This could lead to a spiritual awakening or a shift in your worldview. On the flip side, Rahu's impulsive nature might make you overly ambitious about foreign opportunities or academic pursuits. Stay grounded and assess every opportunity carefully. Meanwhile, Ketu in Leo in your 3rd house pushes you to introspect on your communication style, personal courage, and decision-making abilities. You may find yourself withdrawing from casual social interactions, feeling less interested in superficial conversations or online engagements. This is a period to refine your speech, focus on meaningful communication, and assess your relationships with siblings or close friends. Ketu's presence in the 3rd house also highlights your courage and willingness to take risks. However, this transit might bring self-doubt or hesitation, making you question your abilities. The key lesson here is to trust yourself and your decisions. Avoid impulsive actions driven by fear or anxiety. Instead, use this time to strengthen your mental resilience and clarify your goals. The eclipses in 2025, particularly those along the 3rd and 9th axis, will emphasize themes of learning, teaching, and travel. These astrological events will likely trigger shifts in your perspective and highlight the need to let go of outdated belief systems. Be prepared for sudden insights or life-changing realizations during these periods. On the home front, Ketu's past transit in your 4th house may have left you feeling emotionally distant or unsatisfied with your living situation. Fortunately, as the eclipses shift away from this axis, you'll find clarity and emotional balance returning. Home and family matters will stabilize, and you'll feel more at ease in your personal space. Financially, Saturn's presence in the 10th house indicates slow but steady growth. Avoid unnecessary risks or speculative investments, especially during retrograde periods. Focus on building sustainable income streams and managing your resources wisely. Romantically, Jupiter's aspect on your 7th house brings warmth and connection to your partnerships. Single Geminis may find themselves drawn to someone who shares their ideals and vision for the future. For married or committed individuals, this year offers opportunities for deeper emotional bonding and shared growth. Health-wise, Jupiter in your 1st house supports overall well-being. However, stress from professional responsibilities, due to Saturn in the 10th house, may take a toll if not managed properly. Prioritize self-care, regular exercise, and mindfulness practices. 2025 is a year where the foundation of your future will be laid. With both Jupiter and Saturn activating powerful Kendra houses, 1st and 10th, you'll be given the tools and opportunities to redefine yourself and your goals. Rahu and Ketu's transits urge you to explore spirituality, education, and meaningful communication, while the eclipses highlight crucial turning points in these areas. The key takeaway for Gemini is balance. Balance your ambition with patience, your communication with introspection, and your spiritual growth with practical action. If you can harness the powerful planetary influences this year, you'll not only achieve success but also lay a stable foundation for years to come. This is your time to shine. Step forward confidently and embrace the transformation. For Cancer, the year 2025 will be a profound period of transformation, introspection, and self-discovery. The transits this year highlight significant activity in your 8th, 9th, and 12th houses, while the karmic nodes, Rahu and Ketu, will bring their share of upheavals and insights to your emotional and financial spheres. The planetary influences suggest a mix of challenges and opportunities, urging you to confront your inner fears, reevaluate your values, and step out of your comfort zone. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion, will move into your 12th house in Gemini in May 2025. This transit signifies a deep period of introspection, spirituality, and retreat. The 12th house is often associated with isolation, seclusion, and spiritual growth. You may find yourself drawn to meditation, yoga, or other spiritual practices that help you better understand your subconscious mind. Dreams may become more vivid, and your intuition will be sharper than usual. There's also a possibility of foreign travel, either for spiritual purposes, work, or a much-needed break from your regular routine. Financially, this placement warns you to monitor your expenses carefully. Jupiter in the 12th house can sometimes bring unplanned expenditures or financial drain, particularly if you're not paying close attention to your budget. However, this transit can also provide healing and a sense of peace if you lean into your spiritual side. Saturn's transit through your 9th house in Pisces brings a serious and disciplined focus to your belief systems, higher education, and long-distance travel. The 9th house is about growth through learning, philosophy, and spirituality. You might feel an urge to pursue higher studies, whether academic or spiritual, and these pursuits will require dedication and patience. Saturn is not about instant results. It rewards hard work, consistency, and discipline. Your relationship with authority figures, mentors, or even your father might experience some challenges. These relationships will require maturity, patience, and open communication. If you've been contemplating relocating abroad or pursuing opportunities in a foreign land, Saturn's presence here supports long-term plans, but only if you are willing to put in the necessary effort. This transit will also ask you to question your long-held beliefs and ideologies, encouraging you to let go of outdated thought patterns and adopt a more grounded worldview. Rahu transiting your 8th house in Aquarius brings a sense of mystery and unpredictability into your life. The 8th house governs transformations, shared resources, inheritance, and sudden gains or losses. You may experience sudden changes in your financial situation, possibly through inheritances, insurance claims, or investments. However, this is also a house of psychological transformation, and Rahu's presence here will force you to confront your fears, insecurities, and deeply buried emotions. On a positive note, this transit can provide profound insights into your own psyche, but only if you're willing to face the darker corners of your mind. Be cautious with financial ventures and avoid impulsive decisions, especially when it comes to joint finances or investments. There may also be a heightened interest in occult sciences, astrology, or mysticism during this period. Ketu, the planet of detachment and spiritual liberation, will move into your 2nd house in Leo. The 2nd house represents finances, speech, and family values. This placement can create a sense of detachment from material wealth or even force you into situations where you must reevaluate your financial priorities. You might feel a lack of emotional connection with family members, or communication with loved ones might feel strained. On a positive note, Ketu in the 2nd house can help you adopt a more minimalistic and content lifestyle, teaching you the value of living simply and prioritizing inner fulfillment over material abundance. Be cautious about financial decisions during this period and avoid unnecessary risks in investments. The eclipse cycle of 2025 will shift focus between your 2nd and 8th houses, highlighting themes of financial security, shared resources, and emotional vulnerability. These eclipses may bring sudden changes or revelations regarding money, inheritance, or deep emotional connections. You may find yourself letting go of old emotional baggage or toxic financial patterns that no longer serve your growth. While this period might feel unsettling, it also carries the potential for breakthroughs and healing if approached with mindfulness and resilience. Your career may experience some shifts, especially with the combined aspects of Jupiter and Saturn influencing your 6th house. This house represents work, health, and daily routines. If you've been feeling stuck or unappreciated in your professional life, opportunities for change may arise, particularly after May 2025. A new job, a promotion, or even a shift in your work environment is likely. However, these changes may come with increased responsibilities and challenges that require careful planning and dedication. Be mindful of your health during this period, as stress and overwork could lead to burnout. Make self-care a priority, and don't neglect regular health checkups. Relationships and partnerships may also come under scrutiny this year. With Jupiter's aspect on your 7th house until May 2025, there's potential for positive developments in your romantic or business partnerships. If you're single, you may meet someone significant through travel or spiritual activities. However, Rahu's presence in the 8th house could stir up feelings of insecurity or mistrust in close relationships. Open and honest communication will be crucial to maintaining harmony in your connections. Emotionally, 2025 will push you to confront your inner fears, insecurities, and emotional patterns. This is a year of deep psychological work and transformation. The combination of Saturn in the 9th, Jupiter in the 12th, and Rahu in the 8th creates a potent mix for spiritual growth and self-awareness. You may feel more introspective, reflective, and contemplative than usual. Solitude may become a source of strength rather than loneliness. Leaning into spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, or yoga can provide immense support during challenging times. Financially, the year requires caution and planning. Sudden expenses, unexpected financial gains, and fluctuations in income are all likely scenarios. Avoid impulsive investments and focus on building a secure financial foundation. Family dynamics may feel strained at times, but these challenges are opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. Overall, Cancer, 2025 is a year of profound transformation, introspection, and spiritual growth. The planets are pushing you to confront your inner demons, reevaluate your values, and step out of your comfort zone. While challenges are inevitable, they carry the potential for immense personal growth and emotional healing. Trust the process, stay disciplined, and lean into your spiritual side. By the end of the year, you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true purpose. For Leo, the year 2025 promises to be transformative and eventful, bringing opportunities for growth and challenges that require patience and introspection. With significant planetary transits impacting the 7th, 8th, and 11th houses, the year unfolds as a blend of material success, personal transformations, and spiritual growth. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, will bring auspicious energy to your 11th house when it enters Gemini in May. This transit marks a period of holistic success, enhancing gains in career, relationships, and social standing. Networking and community involvement will become crucial, as Jupiter supports the expansion of your social circle and long-term goals. Engaging in collaborative efforts, joining spiritual or professional communities, or even simple acts of charity could yield substantial rewards. This is a time to dream big and pursue those ambitions that seemed out of reach. However, remember that Jupiter's gifts often come through opportunities that require effort and alignment with your true purpose. Saturn, on the other hand, will occupy your 8th house in Pisces, casting a more introspective and transformative influence. While Jupiter promises gains, Saturn slows the pace, ensuring that these gains are meaningful and aligned with your higher self. The 8th house represents shared resources, intimate relationships, and deep inner work. This transit may challenge you with delays, disappointments, or even restrictions in areas such as finances and personal connections. These experiences are not meant to hinder but to teach resilience and patience. Saturn in the 8th encourages you to confront your fears, reevaluate your priorities, and emerge stronger. Emotional and physical healing may also become necessary, especially if you've faced setbacks in recent years. This is a time to embrace change and let go of what no longer serves you. The nodes, Rahu and Ketu, also play a pivotal role in shaping your experiences. Rahu's transit into your 7th house in Aquarius brings a focus on partnerships, both personal and professional. Relationships may take on an unconventional or unexpected turn, introducing you to individuals from diverse backgrounds or differing ideologies. While these connections can be exciting, Rahu's influence urges caution. Thoroughly evaluate the intentions of those entering your life, especially in partnerships, as initial impressions may not align with reality. If you are single, this transit could bring opportunities for marriage or long-term relationships, but it's essential to ensure that these alliances are built on trust and mutual understanding. Ketu, the headless planet of spirituality, occupies your ascendant, encouraging detachment and introspection. This placement can drive you towards spiritual pursuits and self-reflection while discouraging ego-driven actions. Ketu's influence may make you question the worth of certain material achievements, urging you to focus on inner growth rather than external validation. At the same time, this energy may cause feelings of low confidence or a desire to withdraw from social interactions. Balance is key. While introspection is valuable, Jupiter's presence in your 11th house reminds you to stay connected and actively participate in the world around you. For Leo natives, the 7th and 8th houses, along with the 10th and 11th, dominate the year's themes. The first half of the year, with Jupiter in the 10th house, may bring pressure on your career, potentially leading to changes or new responsibilities. Saturn in the 8th house reinforces the idea of transformation in career and personal life. You might decide to leave behind outdated approaches or relationships, embracing a fresh perspective. Financial caution is advised, as Saturn in the 8th could introduce delays or challenges in managing shared resources or loans. Focus on creating a stable financial foundation and avoiding unnecessary risks. Venus's extended transit in Pisces during the early part of the year brings surprises in your career and personal life. This period, combined with the influence of Jupiter and Saturn, could bring a financial windfall or unexpected gains through family, inheritance, or past investments. For those in service-oriented professions, this time is particularly favorable for success and recognition. The alignment of Jupiter and Saturn aspects your 5th house from May onward, enhancing creativity, love, and opportunities for self-expression. If you've faced obstacles in personal or creative pursuits, this alignment will bring breakthroughs and renewed optimism. As the year progresses, relationships will undergo significant transformations. Rahu's position in the 7th house and its aspect on the 11th house highlights the importance of partnerships and collaborations. Whether in business or romance, these connections will be instrumental in your growth. However, navigate them with discernment to avoid misunderstandings or potential deceptions. If you've experienced setbacks in relationships during Saturn's transit in the 7th house in previous years, this is a time of renewal. New alliances will emerge, but patience and effort will be needed to build lasting foundations. Health should be a priority throughout the year, especially with Saturn and Ketu's placements. Both planets emphasize the need for physical and emotional well-being. Engage in practices that promote stability and resilience, such as meditation, yoga, or regular health checkups. Spiritual pursuits or pilgrimages may also provide solace and a sense of purpose during challenging times. The eclipses of 2025, occurring along the 2nd and 8th axes in the first half of the year and shifting to the 7th and 1st axes from May onward, further emphasize the themes of relationships, shared resources, and self-growth. These astrological events may bring sudden shifts or realizations, especially in partnerships and financial matters. Use these moments as opportunities to reassess and realign your goals. With Jupiter in your 11th house, marks a period of expansion and rewards. Your efforts in career, networking, and personal growth will begin to bear fruit. Rahu's influence on entrepreneurial endeavors and Jupiter's blessings on social connections make this an excellent time for those in self-employment or leadership roles. Expect significant progress in achieving long-term goals, as well as increased recognition and support from your community. Overall, 2025 for Leo natives is a year of balancing material ambitions with inner transformation. The interplay of Jupiter's expansion, Saturn's discipline, Rahu's unpredictability, and Ketu's detachment creates a dynamic environment for growth. Embrace the opportunities for success while being mindful of the lessons each challenge brings. Through patience, self-reflection, and strategic action, this year has the potential to redefine your path and set the stage for lasting achievements. For Virgo, 2025 is set to be a transformative and eventful year with planetary transits highlighting key areas such as career, relationships, health, spirituality, and financial management. Each of these domains will experience significant developments, requiring focus and adaptability. The year offers immense potential for growth, but challenges will need to be met with resilience and foresight. The presence of Jupiter in your 10th house in Gemini is one of the most auspicious transits of the year, particularly for professional growth and recognition. This placement opens doors for career advancement, leadership roles, and opportunities to gain prominence in your chosen field. You may find mentors or influential figures guiding you, helping you unlock new levels of potential. Jupiter's influence encourages expansion not just in your professional life but also in your mindset, pushing you to learn and multitask across different domains. However, this broad focus may occasionally spread your energies thin, so prioritization will be essential to fully capitalize on this favorable transit. Saturn, moving into your 7th house in Pisces, brings a dual focus on relationships and partnerships. This is a significant transit that emphasizes the importance of commitment and long-term stability. Whether in personal relationships, marriage, or professional collaborations, Saturn's influence requires effort, patience, and maturity to strengthen existing bonds. This period is ideal for addressing imbalances in relationships and working through challenges to build deeper, more enduring connections. While Saturn fosters stability, it may also demand you confront any issues that no longer serve your growth. For some, this could mean a resolution to ongoing struggles, while for others, it might signify the end of relationships that cannot evolve. The lessons Saturn brings are tough but ultimately constructive, leaving you with a more grounded foundation in both personal and professional partnerships. Rahu's transit through your 6th house in Aquarius is another favorable aspect for Virgo in 2025. Rahu in this position enhances your ability to handle competition, resolve conflicts, and achieve success in challenging situations. Whether you're dealing with professional rivals, legal matters, or health issues, Rahu empowers you to emerge victorious. This transit is particularly beneficial for career growth, as it amplifies your strategic thinking and problem-solving skills. However, Rahu's energy can also create friction in interpersonal relationships, often stemming from misunderstandings or different priorities. Staying focused on your goals and avoiding unnecessary confrontations will ensure you leverage Rahu's potential without getting entangled in conflicts. Meanwhile, Ketu transitions into the 12th house in Leo, amplifying your spiritual journey. This placement invites introspection, meditation, and a deeper exploration of your inner self. Ketu in the 12th house is a powerful placement for spiritual growth, solitude, and understanding your soul's purpose. However, it can also bring financial confusion or unplanned expenditures, as the 12th house governs losses. To mitigate this, it will be essential to track your finances carefully and avoid impulsive spending. While Ketu fosters spiritual awareness, it may also create a sense of detachment, urging you to find balance between worldly responsibilities and inner exploration. The first half of the year, particularly from March to May, could feel intense as multiple planetary shifts activate your 7th house. Saturn and Rahu in this house may create pressure in relationships, with misunderstandings or separations becoming a possibility. Venus's extended transit through the 7th house during this time adds complexity, particularly in romantic and business partnerships. For singles, potent attractions may arise, but these connections might lack stability or clarity. This period demands patience and clear communication to navigate relationship dynamics effectively. From May onward, the energy shifts significantly as Rahu moves into your 6th house and Jupiter enters your 10th house. This marks the beginning of a more stable and prosperous phase. Rahu's favorable placement supports career advancements and the resolution of lingering health issues, while Jupiter's influence ensures professional success and the potential for property ownership or relocation. In relationships, Saturn in the 7th house continues to work towards reconciliation and long-term commitments, making this a time to build enduring partnerships. Whether this involves mending old connections or forming new ones, the latter half of the year offers opportunities for deep and meaningful bonds. Financially, the year holds promise but also calls for caution. While Rahu supports financial growth through competitive efforts and Jupiter offers gains through career success, Ketu's placement in the 12th house could lead to unplanned expenditures or financial confusion. Establishing a disciplined approach to money management and avoiding impulsive decisions will help you maintain stability and security. Health is another area that will benefit from planetary support. Saturn in the 6th house early in the year encourages healthier routines and the resolution of persistent health issues. However, Rahu's influence may create occasional disturbances, particularly related to the intestines or digestion. A balanced diet, regular exercise, and mindfulness practices will be key to maintaining overall well-being. On a more personal level, this year offers a profound opportunity for self-discovery and transformation. Ketu's energy in the 12th house encourages you to address unresolved emotional issues and seek clarity about your life's purpose. This introspective phase can be deeply rewarding, offering insights that help you align with your true self. However, Ketu's detachment may sometimes lead to feelings of isolation or stagnation. Embracing spiritual practices, meditation, or journaling can help you navigate these challenges and find inner peace. As the year progresses, you'll find a balance between the demands of the external world and your inner growth. The interplay of planetary energies encourages you to focus on career achievements while also nurturing your relationships and personal development. While the first half of the year may bring challenges, particularly in relationships, the latter half promises stability, success, and fulfillment. Overall, 2025 is a year of dynamic growth and transformation for Virgo. With Jupiter supporting your career, Saturn strengthening your relationships, Rahu driving competitive success, and Ketu fostering spiritual evolution, this year offers a rich tapestry of experiences. The key to navigating these energies lies in maintaining balance, setting clear priorities, and embracing the lessons each phase brings. By doing so, you can harness the opportunities for success and fulfillment, while overcoming challenges with grace and resilience. Trust in your ability to adapt and grow, and this year will be a stepping stone to greater achievements and deeper self-awareness. For Libra, the year 2025 promises to be transformative and enlightening, bringing a mix of growth, challenges, and opportunities. Each planetary movement carries profound implications, influencing various aspects of life such as relationships, health, career, and personal growth. By carefully navigating these transits, Libra natives can make significant strides toward their aspirations while overcoming challenges with resilience and grace. The most prominent development for Libra natives in 2025 is Jupiter's transition into the 9th house of Gemini in May. This marks a significant shift from its presence in the 8th house, which may have previously brought upheaval and challenges in personal relationships, shared resources, or finances. With Jupiter in the 9th house, a wave of positivity, spiritual growth, and higher learning is set to enter your life. This transit is a blessing, enhancing your ability to gain wisdom, explore philosophical or spiritual paths, and embark on journeys that expand your horizons. It's an ideal time to strengthen your connection with mentors, teachers, and spiritual guides, as these relationships will serve as a source of inspiration and direction. Jupiter's aspect on your Ascendant, 3rd house, and 5th house will bolster your confidence, communication skills, and creativity. If you've been contemplating new ventures or studies, this is a time when your efforts will yield rewarding results. Saturn's movement into Pisces and your 6th house in March brings a disciplined and structured approach to your daily routines, health, and work responsibilities. Saturn's presence here demands diligence and persistence, making it essential to address health concerns and cultivate habits that support long-term well-being. Professionally, Saturn's influence can increase your workload and responsibilities, but it also rewards sustained effort with tangible achievements. This is a period where challenges from competitors or adversaries may arise, but Saturn provides the strength and determination to overcome them. Saturn's role as a yoga karaka for Libra natives ensures that its influence ultimately enhances your capacity to achieve your goals. However, this transit can also highlight internal limitations or subconscious patterns that need to be addressed, encouraging you to break free from self-imposed restrictions and adopt a more empowering mindset. The interplay between Rahu in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo, transiting your 5th and 11th houses respectively, introduces a dynamic focus on creativity, social connections, and long-term aspirations. Rahu in the 5th house amplifies your desire to express yourself uniquely and may inspire you to pursue artistic or innovative projects. This transit can also spark unconventional approaches to romance or speculative investments, although caution is advised in financial matters to avoid undue risk. The 5th house's association with emotional intelligence and faith suggests that Rahu's energy here will push you to align your actions with your inner values and desires. Meanwhile, Ketu's transit through the 11th house may bring feelings of detachment or dissatisfaction with your social circles and material gains. This period is an opportunity to introspect and reassess your goals, identifying what truly aligns with your higher purpose. It's essential to strike a balance between pursuing personal fulfillment and maintaining meaningful relationships. Venus' extended transit through your 6th house during the first half of the year could introduce challenges in relationships, both personal and professional. This period may bring disputes or tensions, particularly in domestic or business partnerships. However, as Venus moves into more favorable positions later in the year, the strain on these relationships is likely to ease, paving the way for reconciliation and harmony. Libra natives should approach conflicts with patience and understanding, as this will help mitigate misunderstandings and foster stronger connections. Jupiter's aspect on your 5th house also highlights the potential for significant growth in areas related to children, creativity, and education. If you have children, this transit may deepen your relationship with them, encouraging mutual understanding and support. For those pursuing creative or academic endeavors, Jupiter's influence can bring inspiration and opportunities for success. Jupiter's aspect on the 3rd house fosters courage and initiative, making it an excellent time to take calculated risks and explore new ventures. Whether it involves starting a new project, traveling, or engaging in meaningful conversations, this period encourages proactive efforts that align with your long-term vision. The first half of the year may feel intense due to Jupiter's presence in the 8th house and the challenging dynamics of Saturn and Venus in the 6th house. This phase may bring unresolved issues to the surface, requiring introspection and effort to address them. Financial matters, particularly those involving shared resources or inheritances, may demand careful attention. However, as Jupiter transitions to the 9th house and Saturn settles into the 6th, the energy shifts towards resolution and progress. The latter half of the year offers greater stability and opportunities for growth, making it essential to stay patient and persistent during the initial months. Rahu's influence in the 5th house can also enhance your confidence and charisma, making you more attractive to others and increasing your appeal in social and professional settings. This transit may bring new connections or rekindle old friendships, offering opportunities for collaboration and mutual support. However, it's important to remain discerning and avoid placing undue trust in superficial relationships. Ketu's presence in the 11th house underscores the importance of focusing on quality over quantity in your social interactions, encouraging you to prioritize connections that align with your values and aspirations. Health is another critical area to monitor in 2025, particularly during Saturn's transit through the 6th house. Overthinking or prolonged anxiety may contribute to physical discomfort, making it essential to adopt practices that promote mental and emotional well-being. Regular exercise, meditation, and a balanced diet can help mitigate stress and support overall health. Saturn's influence may bring attention to issues related to the feet or spine, underscoring the need for preventative care and mindfulness in daily activities. As the year progresses, the harmonious alignment of Jupiter and Saturn's aspects on your 3rd house will encourage you to take bold steps towards your goals. This is a time to channel your energy into projects that reflect your passions and ambitions. Whether it involves launching a new business, pursuing higher education, or exploring spiritual practices, the supportive energy of these transits will help you manifest your aspirations with clarity and determination. Overall, 2025 is a year of transformation and growth for Libra natives, offering opportunities for spiritual enrichment, creative expression, and professional advancement. The challenges presented by Saturn and Rahu's transits serve as catalysts for self-discovery and resilience, encouraging you to overcome limitations and embrace your full potential. By staying attuned to the lessons of each transit and maintaining a balanced approach, you can navigate the year's complexities with confidence and grace, emerging stronger and more aligned with your true purpose. For Scorpio, the year 2025 presents a transformative journey marked by significant planetary transits that influence critical aspects of life, including career, relationships, finances, and personal growth. The interplay of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, and Ketu, among other transits, creates a complex but potentially rewarding landscape for you to navigate. To begin with, Jupiter's transit into Gemini in May activates your 8th house, which governs transformation, shared resources, and occult sciences. This period encourages you to delve into metaphysical and esoteric fields, such as astrology, numerology, and energy healing. The 8th house also deals with inheritance and financial windfalls, suggesting the possibility of sudden gains. However, caution is imperative in managing shared resources. The influence of Jupiter may foster over-optimism, particularly in speculative ventures like stock trading or high-risk investments. You should resist impulsive decisions and focus on meticulous research before committing to financial strategies. For those in finance-related professions, this period demands a disciplined approach to mitigate potential losses. Saturn's presence in Pisces, your 5th house, brings a serious tone to creativity and speculative activities. You may feel a shift in your creative pursuits, emphasizing long-term projects that require discipline and dedication. Whether it's developing software, creating content, or embarking on artistic endeavors, Saturn's influence encourages a structured approach. This transit also impacts health, urging you to reevaluate your fitness routines and dietary habits. The 5th house's connection to speculation indicates that investments, especially in the stock market, could be fruitful if backed by thorough analysis and fundamental research. This is an excellent time for academic pursuits or acquiring new skills, as Saturn's energy supports focused and disciplined study. Rahu's transit in Aquarius, activating your 4th house, brings attention to domestic matters and real estate. This period may spark an obsession with property dealings, from calculating EMIs to comparing down payments. While Rahu can amplify desires for unconventional experiences at home, it also highlights the importance of nurturing family relationships, especially with your mother. You should ensure you allocate quality time to your loved ones amidst these pursuits. Rahu's energy also supports learning new skills, making it an ideal time to explore areas outside your comfort zone. Ketu's transit in Virgo, impacting your 10th house of career, introduces a sense of detachment and introspection in professional matters. You may find yourself questioning your career path or feeling a lack of fulfillment in your current role. This period favors working with a sense of detachment, focusing on the intrinsic value of the work rather than external recognition. Ketu's influence can also steer you towards spiritual or humanitarian endeavors, offering a chance to align your career goals with your personal values. Despite this detachment, the transit provides opportunities for innovation and bold career moves, especially if you're willing to embrace change. The continued aspects on Scorpio from various planets since May 2024 culminate in significant life changes by March 2025. These influences may have already prompted transformative decisions, reshaping your identity, lifestyle, or professional direction. You might experience a metaphorical death and rebirth of old ways, paving the way for new beginnings. Saturn's stay in the 4th house until March underscores this theme, bringing heavy responsibilities at home and possibly involving property transactions or renovations. Jupiter's blessings in Taurus, impacting your 7th house until May, highlight relationships and social status. This is a favorable period for you if you're seeking meaningful connections, potentially leading to significant commitments such as marriage. Jupiter's aspect on the 11th house further boosts material gains, networking opportunities, and interactions with influential individuals. However, the conjunction of Saturn and Rahu in March can strain partnerships and create unexpected challenges in personal or professional life. Maintaining patience and avoiding impulsive reactions, particularly in interactions with children or loved ones, is essential during this period. Venus' extended transit through the 5th house adds complexity to your love life. This transit may ignite intense romantic feelings or creative aspirations, but Rahu's influence could blur perceptions, making it vital to assess situations carefully. By April, when Venus turns direct and Rahu moves on, clarity will return, allowing you to make informed decisions about relationships and creative projects. This phase also supports travel, offering a chance to recharge and gain perspective. As Rahu shifts into the 4th house in May, the focus intensifies on domestic matters and emotional well-being. Simultaneously, Jupiter's entry into the 8th house emphasizes transformation and financial restructuring. This combination may bring sudden changes in financial status, whether through inheritance, settlements, or shared assets. It's crucial to approach these changes with caution, ensuring that financial decisions align with long-term goals. Health also becomes a focal point, particularly dietary habits, as Jupiter's influence on the 8th house underscores the connection between nutrition and well-being. The axis of the 4th and 10th houses, defined by Rahu and Ketu, shapes your journey throughout the year. Rahu's presence in the 4th house encourages stepping out of comfort zones, potentially involving relocation or significant lifestyle changes. Meanwhile, Ketu's influence in the 10th house fosters introspection, urging you to align your career path with personal fulfillment. This dynamic interplay challenges you to balance ambition with emotional stability, creating opportunities for profound growth. The emotional intelligence demanded by Saturn's transit in the 5th house complements the broader themes of transformation and maturity. You may find yourself reassessing your priorities, letting go of outdated patterns, and embracing new ways of thinking. This period encourages deep self-reflection, fostering growth in both personal and professional domains. For those with children, this transit brings added responsibilities, focusing on their education or significant milestones. By the end of 2025, you will have navigated a year of intense change and growth. The transformative energies of the 8th house, coupled with the stabilizing influence of Saturn in the 5th, create a unique blend of challenges and opportunities. Financial discipline, emotional resilience, and a willingness to embrace change will be key to making the most of this year. While the journey may be demanding, it offers you a chance to emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. For Sagittarius, the year 2025 indicates a transformative period marked by significant planetary movements that influence personal relationships, career, spirituality, and domestic life. With Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, playing a central role, and with impactful placements of Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, this year presents a blend of challenges and opportunities. By understanding and navigating these astrological influences, Sagittarius natives can unlock tremendous growth and fulfillment. Jupiter begins the year in Taurus, transiting your 6th house, which emphasizes health, work routines, and daily responsibilities. While this placement often brings challenges in the form of increased workloads, health concerns, or the need for greater discipline, it also offers an opportunity for transformation. If you've been neglecting your well-being, this is the time to prioritize self-care. Revamp your routine by incorporating healthy habits such as regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient rest. This transit also encourages you to develop new skills that enhance your professional life. While the 6th house can be demanding, it's also a space for personal growth through perseverance. By facing challenges head-on, you build resilience and prepare for the abundant blessings that arrive in the second half of the year. Come May, Jupiter shifts into Gemini and your 7th house, ushering in a period of harmony and expansion in relationships. For those in committed partnerships, this transit strengthens bonds, encouraging mutual understanding and growth. If you're single, this is an excellent time to meet someone special, as Jupiter's influence attracts meaningful and supportive connections. On the professional front, collaborations and partnerships thrive, offering opportunities for significant gains. Contracts, negotiations, and business dealings initiated during this time are likely to yield long-term rewards. This transit also fosters a broader perspective, encouraging you to focus on how you can grow through your relationships with others, be it romantic, professional, or social. Saturn begins the year in Aquarius in your 3rd house, where its disciplined energy supports communication, networking, and entrepreneurial endeavors. This transit is excellent for building a strong foundation in areas related to writing, speaking, or any form of communication. It rewards consistent effort and a structured approach. If you've been working on a project, Saturn's presence ensures that your hard work bears fruit. However, in March, Saturn transitions into Pisces in your 4th house, shifting the focus to home and family. This period may bring responsibilities or changes related to your living environment, such as renovations, relocations, or property investments. Saturn in the 4th house can feel heavy, sometimes manifesting as emotional stagnation or dissatisfaction. You may also face delays in achieving personal goals or a sense of being bogged down by domestic responsibilities. While this energy might seem challenging, it's important to view it as an opportunity to create long-term stability and security in your home life. This is also an ideal time to reflect on your emotional foundations and work on creating a sense of inner peace. Rahu's placement in the 3rd house is a highlight of the year, bringing a surge of energy and dynamism to your communication and networking skills. Rahu thrives in the 3rd house, making this a fantastic period for entrepreneurial ventures, short travels, and the development of innovative ideas. If you've been contemplating starting a side hustle or expanding your reach through social media, this is the time to act. Rahu's influence encourages you to push boundaries and explore new territories, fostering personal and professional growth. Rahu aspects the 11th house, enhancing your ability to connect with diverse groups of people. This is a period of immense networking potential, where forming connections with individuals from different cultures, backgrounds, or industries can lead to significant opportunities. However, Rahu's intensity can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or conflicts, particularly in communication. It's crucial to remain mindful of your words and avoid impulsive reactions that might strain relationships. Ketu will reside in your 9th house, adding a profound dimension to your year. This placement encourages introspection, spiritual growth, and philosophical exploration. You may feel drawn to meditation, chanting, or studying ancient texts. Traveling to places of spiritual or cultural significance is likely, offering you a chance to reconnect with your inner self. Ketu's detachment from material concerns allows you to focus on higher wisdom and understanding, helping you find clarity and purpose. However, this placement can also create moments of self-doubt or a sense of being disconnected from traditional forms of learning or belief systems. It's important to trust your intuition and remain open to new perspectives, as these experiences can be deeply transformative. Venus's transit in Pisces during the early part of the year adds an emotional and aesthetic dimension to your domestic life. You may feel inspired to beautify your home, invest in luxury items, or enhance your living environment. However, Venus's conjunction with malefics during this period might create occasional friction in family relationships or delays in achieving domestic goals. It's essential to navigate these challenges with patience and understanding, as Venus's later transits bring opportunities for romance, creativity, and social engagements. When Venus aligns with Rahu later in the year, it amplifies your charisma and ability to connect with others, making this a favorable time for both personal and professional networking. Mars's retrograde motion and subsequent transit into Gemini in early 2025 could stir tensions in partnerships. Retrograde Mars often triggers frustrations or delays, particularly in areas related to shared goals or finances. This is a period to exercise caution and avoid impulsive decisions. However, as Mars moves forward, it restores balance and provides the courage to address unresolved conflicts. Channeling Mars's assertive energy constructively will help you navigate these dynamics effectively. While the first half of the year may feel challenging due to Saturn's influence in the 4th house and Jupiter's transit through the 6th, the second half offers significant rewards. The combination of Jupiter in the 7th house and Rahu in the 3rd house creates a powerful synergy, encouraging you to expand your horizons and embrace opportunities for growth. Whether it's forming new relationships, exploring innovative ideas, or deepening your spiritual practices, this is a year to push boundaries and elevate yourself. The cautionary note for 2025 revolves around balancing personal and professional life. Saturn's influence in the 4th house may slow progress in your career, while domestic responsibilities demand attention. It's important to maintain a sense of equilibrium, ensuring that either aspect of your life is neglected. While Rahu's energy drives you to achieve external success, Ketu's spiritual pull reminds you to stay grounded and connected to your inner self. Overall, 2025 is a year of transformation and growth for Sagittarius natives. The first half may require patience and perseverance as you navigate challenges in health, daily routines, and domestic matters. However, the second half opens doors to meaningful relationships, professional opportunities, and spiritual enlightenment. By embracing these influences with wisdom and determination, you can make this a year of profound personal and professional fulfillment. Whether through Jupiter's blessings in the 7th house, Rahu's dynamic energy in the 3rd, or Ketu's spiritual guidance in the 9th, 2025 offers a unique opportunity to align with your higher purpose and achieve lasting success. For Capricorn, the year 2025 brings a complex interplay of opportunities and challenges. The planetary transits emphasize a mix of transformative changes, career advancement, and personal growth, but also caution against impulsive decisions and moral lapses. The influence of Jupiter in Gemini, transiting through your 6th house, becomes a pivotal aspect of the year. This transit places emphasis on your daily routines, health, and service-oriented activities. While Jupiter's optimistic energy could make you more disciplined if supported by a favorable dasha, it might also tempt you into laziness or complacency. Health becomes a priority, especially regarding the liver and digestive issues. Habits such as excessive eating, drinking, or unhealthy routines must be addressed promptly to avoid complications. On the work front, Jupiter's 6th house transit may bring multiple responsibilities or even opportunities to repay loans or debts. Be cautious of overextending yourself financially, as the temptation to take on more loans could exacerbate financial stress. Saturn's movement into Pisces in the 3rd house indicates a period of disciplined communication and calculated efforts. This transit underscores the importance of persistence, especially in social media, short-distance travel, and skill-building activities. Saturn rewards those who build their foundations patiently, so ventures in platforms like YouTube or other social medias are likely to grow steadily rather than achieving instant success. If you are involved in writing, teaching, or other communication-based roles, this transit supports structured and well-thought-out endeavors. However, Saturn's presence here may make you overly sensitive to external criticism or judgments. It's crucial to confront these inner insecurities to work effectively without being swayed by others' opinions. The Rahu-Ketu axis, transiting your 2nd and 8th houses respectively, significantly impacts financial matters and personal transformation. Rahu in the second house boosts your financial prospects, potentially bringing sudden gains. However, it might also lure you into unconventional or shady money-making schemes. As Rahu's influence can cloud judgment, it's vital to avoid unethical practices like tax evasion or underhanded financial dealings, which could lead to legal troubles. Ketu in the 8th house adds a layer of introspection and spiritual transformation, encouraging you to let go of deep-seated fears or unresolved issues. However, it may also create sudden disruptions, such as familial disputes or concerns about inheritance. Pay special attention to your speech and how you handle financial responsibilities to maintain harmony in personal relationships. Venus, your Yogacaraka planet, transits the 3rd house alongside Saturn and Rahu for a significant portion of the year, adding dynamism to communication and entrepreneurial pursuits. While Venus supports creativity and charm, Rahu's influence could lead to misjudgments in forming new connections or indulging in fleeting relationships. For those in artistic or business endeavors, this is a period to channel your creativity productively while guarding against distractions or overreaching. The combination of Venus and Saturn highlights the importance of long-term planning and consistency, while Rahu's presence warns against impulsive decisions. As Jupiter moves into your 5th house by May, a sense of optimism and joy permeates your life. This transit can bring opportunities for romance, creative expression, and even childbirth for those planning to expand their families. Socially, this is a favorable time to network and form meaningful connections that could bolster your career or personal life. This is also an excellent period for personal branding or improving your public image. However, balance is key, as multitasking and scattered focus, emphasized by Jupiter's connection to the 3rd and 6th houses, could hinder progress. Health and well-being remain recurring themes throughout the year. Jupiter in the 6th house and Saturn's influence on your 3rd house urge you to adopt a disciplined lifestyle. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and mindfulness practices are essential to combat stress and avoid overexertion. Multitasking, driven by Jupiter's and Saturn's placements, might create mental and physical fatigue if not managed properly. Rahu's 2nd house transit adds to this tension, as financial concerns or familial obligations could weigh heavily on your mind. On the personal front, relationships may experience turbulence. Jupiter's placement in the 6th house, being 12th to the 7th house of partnerships, suggests a need for cautious communication with your spouse or partner. Rahu's transit through the 2nd house may exacerbate family conflicts, particularly regarding finances or values. Ketu in the 8th house can stir deep emotional transformations, forcing you to confront unresolved issues within your relationships. This year requires conscious efforts to nurture harmony in both personal and familial bonds. The 3rd house of courage and effort becomes a focal point of Saturn's transit, urging you to take decisive actions in areas you've been hesitant about. This is a year to bring long-standing ideas and plans into fruition. Whether it's a new business venture, learning a skill, or starting a creative project, Saturn's energy supports consistent and focused efforts. However, the burden of external opinions and societal expectations may act as a barrier. Confront these challenges by focusing on self-improvement and remaining true to your goals. Career and financial growth are well supported by Rahu's and Saturn's placements, particularly in the first half of the year. Unexpected opportunities may arise, especially in competitive environments or entrepreneurial ventures. However, vigilance is essential, as Rahu's influence might also bring deceptive offers or shady dealings. Maintain transparency in all professional and financial transactions to avoid complications later in the year. With Rahu moving into Aquarius and Ketu into Leo, alleviates some of the tension surrounding financial and familial matters. You may feel more empowered to make decisions, particularly regarding your career and personal values. However, the spiritual undertones of Ketu in the 8th house encourage introspection and letting go of unnecessary baggage, whether emotional or material. Overall, 2025 is a year of transformation, discipline, and growth for Capricorn natives. It demands careful attention to health, finances, and relationships, coupled with consistent efforts in personal and professional domains. Ethical practices and a grounded approach will be your strongest allies, ensuring that you make the most of the year's opportunities while avoiding its pitfalls. As you navigate the complexities of this year, remember that persistence and integrity will ultimately lead to long-term success and fulfillment. For Aquarius, the year 2025 is poised to be a transformative and eventful year, offering opportunities for personal growth, financial gains, and spiritual exploration. However, with the dynamic interplay of planetary transits, it also presents challenges in relationships, self-discipline, and maintaining harmony in family matters. This is a year of significant change, driven by a combination of Jupiter's benevolence, Saturn's discipline, Rahu's unpredictability, and Ketu's spiritual detachment. The highlight of the year is Jupiter's transit through your 5th house starting in May, a position that will bless your creativity, relationships, and overall sense of joy. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion, aspects your Ascendant, 11th house, and 9th house, bringing a surge of positivity and opportunities. If you have been considering starting a new creative project, pursuing education, or diving into artistic pursuits, this is the perfect time. Romance is highly favored, and singles may find themselves entering meaningful relationships. For those already in relationships, Jupiter supports marriage and family growth, including the possibility of welcoming children. This transit also boosts your spiritual inclinations, encouraging you to align your actions with higher ideals. Saturn, your ruling planet, begins the year in Aquarius, concluding its transit in your 1st house by March. This transit has likely been a testing time, demanding resilience, self-discipline, and introspection. The lessons learned during Saturn's presence in your 1st house will now empower you as it moves into your 2nd house of finances and family. The focus shifts to building financial stability and resolving long-standing issues within the family. However, Saturn's influence may also highlight responsibilities and create a need for careful budgeting. Long-term investments will prove beneficial, but short-term financial ventures should be approached with caution. This period also emphasizes the importance of maintaining balance between income and expenditure. Rahu's transit into Aquarius in May is a pivotal moment, as it takes residence in your 1st house. This transit amplifies your individuality and self-perception, making you more visible and influential in your personal and professional spheres. Rahu's energy can make you ambitious and driven, but it may also inflate your ego. You might find yourself focusing more on your image, choices, and desires, but there is a risk of becoming overly self-centered. Jupiter's aspect on Rahu brings some balance, guiding your decisions and ensuring you stay grounded. It is essential to remain mindful of your interactions with others, as Rahu's influence can lead to a sense of superiority or detachment from close relationships. On the other hand, Ketu's presence in your 7th house in Leo introduces challenges in partnerships, both personal and professional. Ketu often brings dissatisfaction and a sense of detachment, prompting you to reevaluate your connections. This may manifest as a desire to withdraw from a stagnant relationship or explore deeper spiritual meanings within your partnerships. If married, you might feel disillusioned or find that your partner challenges your individuality. However, instead of retreating, focus on spiritualizing your relationships. Engage in practices that foster mutual understanding, patience, and respect. Business partnerships may also require extra effort to maintain harmony, as Ketu's influence can create misunderstandings or imbalances. The initial months of the year see Venus transiting your 2nd house, bringing opportunities for financial gains and harmonious family interactions. Venus's conjunct Saturn in this house enhances your ability to manage resources wisely, though the retrograde phase may cause temporary delays or complications. The influence of Venus also fosters creative self-expression and adds charm to your personality, making it easier to attract favorable opportunities. Past investments might yield returns during this time, further strengthening your financial position. The year's planetary transits also highlight the need to prioritize self-care and discipline. While Rahu in your 1st house energizes you with enthusiasm and determination, it can also lead to overexertion or a scattered focus. Saturn's lessons on structure and discipline will prove invaluable, helping you channel this energy into productive endeavors. Focus on maintaining a healthy routine and avoid overindulgence or impulsive decisions. Jupiter's presence in the 5th house brings a wave of optimism and emotional intelligence, balancing some of the intensity brought by other planetary placements. This transit ensures that no matter how challenging situations might seem, you can navigate them with wisdom and positivity. This is a year to trust in your capabilities and embrace the growth that comes from overcoming obstacles. Family matters take focus with Saturn's transit through your 2nd house and Rahu's influence in the Ascendant. There may be moments of discord or misunderstandings, but these situations offer opportunities for growth and reconciliation. Practice patience and open communication, especially if unresolved issues resurface. Financially, Saturn encourages a cautious and methodical approach. This is a favorable time to plan for the long term, whether it involves investments, savings, or career growth. Avoid unnecessary risks, particularly in speculative ventures. Romance and creativity thrive under Jupiter's influence in the 5th house. If you are single, this is an excellent year to meet someone special, potentially someone who shares your creative or intellectual interests. Relationships that begin under this influence are likely to be meaningful and inspiring. For those already in relationships, Jupiter's blessings may bring milestones such as marriage or starting a family. If you have children, this transit supports their education and growth, fostering a positive and nurturing environment. As the year progresses, you may notice significant changes in your outlook and priorities. Rahu's transit through your ascendant and Jupiter's influence encourage you to step into the spotlight, take bold risks, and embrace new opportunities. This could involve a career shift, relocation, or a major life decision. While these changes may initially feel overwhelming, they are aligned with your long-term growth and aspirations. Ketu's placement in the 7th house requires you to strike a balance between personal ambition and maintaining harmonious relationships. This is a time to nurture connections with understanding and empathy, ensuring that your drive for success does not overshadow your interpersonal bonds. Spiritual practices, such as meditation or mindfulness, can help you navigate this period with grace. Overall, 2025 is a year of significant transformation and growth for Aquarius natives. With Jupiter blessing your creativity, relationships, and overall well-being, there is immense potential for positive change. Saturn's lessons in discipline and responsibility will help you build a strong foundation for the future, while Rahu and Ketu's influence highlights the need for balance in your personal and professional lives. By embracing these lessons and remaining open to change, you can make the most of the opportunities this year offers. Remember to stay grounded, nurture your relationships, and trust in your ability to navigate challenges with wisdom and resilience. For Pisces, the year 2025 brings a dynamic mix of opportunities and challenges as the planetary transits are poised to significantly impact your personal, professional, and emotional life. With Saturn transiting your 1st house in Pisces, Jupiter moving through your 4th house in Gemini, and Rahu and Ketu activating your 12th and 6th houses respectively, the focus this year is on transformation, introspection, and recalibration of your priorities. Saturn in your 1st house demands discipline and introspection. This placement signals the need to step up and take control of your life. Saturn urges you to evaluate every aspect of your existence, from health and finances to relationships and career. Saturn's influence may feel slow and demanding, requiring patience and effort, but it will ultimately lead to long-term growth and stability. Be prepared to face responsibilities head-on. Whether it's your professional life or personal endeavors, Saturn's energy will guide you to transform dreams into tangible goals. However, avoid dwelling on past failures or regrets, as such ruminations may hinder your progress. A clean slate and a forward-focused mindset are essential for making the most of this transit. Jupiter in your 4th house from May onwards brings blessings to your domestic and emotional life. This is an excellent time for real estate investments, home improvements, or even relocating to a place that better aligns with your aspirations. Jupiter supports learning and spiritual practices at home, fostering an environment of growth and emotional well-being. You may find joy in reconnecting with family, pursuing new educational opportunities, or enhancing your living conditions, while Jupiter's position in Gemini might bring moments of miscommunication or conflicts with individuals who challenge your ideas. Its overall energy is positive. It promises opportunities for happiness and financial growth, though you might need to navigate occasional setbacks, particularly in dealings involving assets or possessions. Rahu in the 12th house until May indicates a strong inclination towards spiritual exploration, foreign travel, and introspection. This is a period to connect deeply with your inner self, possibly through meditation, retreats, or solitude. However, Rahu's influence can also trigger a materialistic approach cloaked in spiritual intentions. For instance, trips to sacred places might be more about indulgence than true spiritual awakening. Nonetheless, this transit offers a chance to uncover profound insights if you approach it with genuine sincerity. Be mindful of your finances, as Rahu may create some uncertainties in shared resources or expenditures related to travel or partnerships. Ketu in your 6th house highlights themes of health, competition, and daily routines. This transit may cause occasional confusion or a sense of purposelessness in your work life. Ketu often questions the very foundation of why you pursue certain activities, leading to periods of introspection and reevaluation. It's crucial to clarify your motivations and ensure that your actions align with your long-term goals. On a positive note, Ketu's presence here helps you overcome adversaries and navigate competitive situations with discernment. Take extra care of your physical health, particularly your vision and mental well-being, as these areas may be more vulnerable during this transit. Venus's exaltation in Pisces early in the year is another noteworthy influence. This period, lasting from late January, brings charm, allure, and increased attention to you. Venus, being the lord of your 8th house, can bring unexpected financial gains, such as inheritance or investments yielding returns. However, it may also lead to unforeseen expenses or sudden changes in your relationships. Be cautious about entering new partnerships or rekindling past relationships, as Venus retrograde can bring complexities or unresolved issues to the surface. This transit also has the potential to unveil hidden secrets, whether yours or those of someone close to you, further adding to the transformative energy of the year. As Jupiter and Saturn both aspect your 10th house of career, significant shifts in your professional life are likely. These transits suggest the possibility of new job opportunities, a change in responsibilities, or even relocation for work. The influence of these planets also encourages you to leverage your communication skills and leadership abilities. Whether it's mentoring others, undertaking entrepreneurial ventures, or navigating office dynamics, your efforts can lead to substantial recognition and growth. While there may be moments of self-doubt or dissatisfaction, particularly concerning financial rewards, staying focused on long-term objectives will prove beneficial. The second half of the year sees a greater focus on your personal and emotional foundation. With Jupiter in the 4th house, you may feel drawn to reconnect with your roots, perhaps through a visit to your birthplace or engagement in spiritual activities. This period is also ideal for pursuing hobbies or studies that nourish your soul. If you are married or in a committed relationship, your partner may serve as a strong emotional anchor, providing stability amidst the year's dynamic energy. Despite the overarching themes of growth and transformation, the year may also feel overwhelming at times. The combination of planetary transits, particularly during the intense period from March to May, brings significant attention and pressure from multiple fronts. It is crucial to prioritize self-care, maintain balance, and avoid taking on more than you can handle. Incorporating grounding practices such as yoga, meditation, or connecting with nature can help you navigate these demanding periods with resilience. Financially, the year holds promise but requires careful planning. Jupiter and Rahu support gains through investments, real estate, or entrepreneurial activities, but there may be delays or obstacles in accessing funds. Avoid risky financial decisions, particularly during Venus's retrograde phase, and ensure that your expenditures align with your budgetary goals. Overall, 2025 is a year of profound transformation and self-discovery for Pisces natives. Saturn in the 1st house urges you to take charge of your life with discipline and perseverance. Jupiter in the 4th house brings opportunities for happiness and emotional growth, while Rahu and Ketu challenge you to navigate spiritual and material areas with discernment. Venus's exaltation offers moments of allure and financial potential but also requires caution in relationships. As you embrace these changes, remember to stay grounded, focus on your well-being, and approach life with a clear sense of purpose. This year may demand effort, but the rewards it brings will be well worth the journey. As we conclude this episode, please remember that these insights are based on Sidereal or Vedic Astrology, which accounts for the approximately 24-degree difference from the tropical zodiac. Individual predictions may vary, as every birth chart is unique. The influence of dasha periods and natal planetary placements can shape transits differently, both positively and negatively. It's essential to consider your own birth chart when applying these general predictions to your personal circumstances. If you'd like personalized predictions or have questions about your astrological chart, feel free to reach out to us. Stay tuned for more astrological updates. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful astrology content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to sharing more astrological wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining bright.